Hi, I want to start by expressing my sincere, heartfelt thanks to, on behalf of our entire family, for everyone who's here today to celebrate the life of our father, John Hewitt. I see so many wonderful, familiar faces here, and it makes everything a lot easier for us, so thank you. A special thank you to Dennis Sadlick and Lou Heine too for the kind words that they spoke about my father, and for Mary Ann Sadlick and Sally Sloan, who've gifted us with so much of their beautiful music today. And a special thank you to the deacons of this church who've been so kind in helping us and welcoming us here today. As many of you already know, the Hewitt family pretty much grew up in this church. There was nothing short of a fever of 105 that would allow us to stay at home or sleep in on a Sunday morning. Or, as both my parents loved to say, Sunday morning begins on Saturday night. And as teenagers, we interpret this to mean, please stay out past midnight. But clearly that's not what they meant. I think they were trying to say, don't give us an excuse that you're too tired to go to church on Sunday morning, because that's not working here. We were all baptized in this church. We were confirmed in this church, all four of us. My sister Tish and her husband Tim were even married in this church. We taught Sunday school here. We went on youth group canoe trips with this church, tutored at your neighborhood house on Saturday mornings. We sang in the children's choir, played volleyball in the gym, and every July one of us would win a cake at the ice cream social. I hope you're still having those, because we sure love those. My mom planted flowers in the church garden every spring, and my dad fixed just about everything that could be fixed in this building. And he took great pride and felt a great honor to be a deacon, a trustee, and a member of the session for many, many years. He loved the friends that he made here at Men's Forum, and he loved the retreats, and found a really great group of friends to play tennis with, which is what he loved so much. The church was really our family's second home, and therefore, we feel very blessed that he has found his final home here in this church. The circle of his life is complete, and he would be so happy to see this church filled today with so many of his good friends and family. This is one celebration that he would have not wanted to miss. My dad was a lover of life. He embraced every day as if it were the last. Each and every day, he would organize his time to both maximize his enjoyment and to complete what he had started. His incredible energy and passion was infectious. He loved to fix things, figure out new ways to do old things, see new places, meet new people, and could see the beauty and the symmetry of nature in it all. In his mind, there was no time to waste. Every minute of every hour and day was to be optimized and actualized. There was certainly no time for laziness, apathy, or indifference. I remember once making the mistake of announcing that I was bored. It was like 4 hours of back-breaking garden labor later. I knew that I was never going to make that mistake again. As our dear Dutch friend, Maya Manning, who I know is here today, there you are, Maya, she said so well, she wrote me this lovely letter after my father passed away, and I thought, wow. She said, he took great delight in making things whole or better, one of his many Dutch traits, something ingrained that came with a friendliness combined with a stubbornness and frugality, which was reinforced and embedded during the war. He was incredibly industrious, both at work and at home. Our house at 125 Mishaw Road, there was not a single room in that rambling old house that was not lovingly restored by him, electricity and plumbing included. His quest for knowledge was also boundless. He had to see and understand the entire world, and what he couldn't visit in person, he read about voraciously. He was an impatient man, and any inefficiency was not easily accepted. He even made up his own words for things, just because for him it was easier and more efficient way to communicate. One of our family favorites happened one year at Thanksgiving when my dad said, Please pass the balls and sticks. Ever since that time, we would be sure to whisper into any guest's ear before they sat down for dinner with our family. FYI, the balls are the boiled potatoes, and the sticks are the string beans, to avoid any embarrassment or confusion. My dad was a spontaneous person who loved to try many new things, see things in a different light, and he loved to laugh. He was also quite a troublemaker as a boy, which had a funny way of biting him back when he later had to avoid. He loved to swim, and he was truly in hog heaven when he bought his first home here in Riverside at 450 Long Common, which had its own built-in swimming pool. We will never forget one hot August night when my dad came home from work to find us all still cooling off in the pool. He threw down his briefcase and jumped right in that pool with us. The suit and the tie, shoes, everything. Saturday night was my mom's night off in the kitchen. So if it was warm enough, my dad would fire up the barbecue. He loved to sit in the backyard, listening to the roar of the cicadas, beer in one hand, grilling tongs in the other, and pipe in his mouth for many years. And he would grill us the best hamburgers in the world. And when the weather got cold, we all insisted on Saturday night macaroni, a dish my dad invented with Spam and leftovers. We have since renamed it. In fact, my college friends, I believe, renamed it Dutch Delight. Or how you can feed a family of 6 for under $3. You can check with one of the family members if you would like the recipe. Or not. We'd share it with anyone who knows it. In the end, the most important thing to him was his wife of 60 years. They were most definitely soulmates. Shortly after they were married in Holland and had their first child, Tish, they decided to be brave and adventurous and head to the New World. Deciding to forego a great job offer in Chicago and instead decided they might want to move to Canada and live off the land on a farm. Thankfully, my persistent and increasingly strong kicking reminded them of the reality of their soon-to-be family of 4, and they decided at the last minute to accept the job offer in Chicago shortly before I was born. They approached their lives together as a journey and discovery, and were each other's strongest supporters and best friends. As the years progressed, my parents even began to look and sound alike. They were the perfect complement to one another. She was his yin and he her yang. He loved his 4 children and his 10 grandchildren almost to a fault, and loved nothing better than a big family get-together. The wilder and crazier, the better. Although he was not a man of many words, he showed us his love each and every day. His business travels took him away quite often, but he made sure that we went on 3 family vacations every year. The majority of those vacations consisted of packing up the station wagon with all 6 of us, driving a couple thousand miles, stopping in every national park along the way, and camping. My father was a great lover of nature and any animal that moved. He had a very special way of communicating with them, and was always glad to watch our pets when we went on vacation, and sad to see them go upon our return. If not for my mom, the cleaner and organizer of us all, our home would have been overrun with pets of all kinds. Of that, I'm sure. Our father, John Hewitt, was an inspiration to us all and has left us with so many gifts. I think Henry Nouwen summed up my father's philosophy on life in this, one of our favorite passages. Even though I often give in to the many fears and warnings of my world, I still believe deeply that our few years on this earth are part of a much longer event that stretches out far beyond the boundaries of our birth and death. I think of it as a mission into time, a mission that is very exhilarating and even exciting, mostly because the one who sent us on the mission is waiting for me to come home and tell the story of what I've learned.